So with Thanksgiving right around the corner, I want to share with you as many of my best side dishes as I can. And you know, when I'm thinking of Thanksgiving dinner or any kind of holiday dinner, you gotta have sweet potato mash. You gotta have regular mash, sweet potato mash, roasted potatoes. I like to have a bunch of preparations of different kinds of potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. I love them. You know, anybody else a fan, let me know in the comments. Mostly because they're super tasty, they're super nutritious, they're high in fiber, they have potassium, beta carotene, a bunch of great stuff for you. And so when making sweet potato mash, there's a few ways to do it. You know, if you're using regular potato, you're generally gonna boil that in a salted water. But with sweet potatoes, they get really waterlogged and you'll end up with like a sloppy kind of mash. So there's a few ways to do it. So you can actually steam these and then dry them out in a pan a little bit before adding your butter and your cream and making a mash. So we're doing this my favorite way, which is to roast them. You know, roasting them really just concentrates the sugars and the flavor, and you're just gonna end up with the most flavorful, beautiful mash. And you know, I like mine to be smooth. It's also like a textural thing. It coats the palate in a really nice way. So all you need to do is give these a wash, throw them in like a 375-degree oven, 45 minutes, an hour until they're done, and then we'll continue to that next step. And then we're gonna make some toasted pecans. We're gonna toast up these nuts, a little bit of butter, a little bit of maldon salt, and some maple syrup. That's gonna be the garnish for our sweet potato mash. And you know, because we don't need to peel these, we don't need to cut them up, we don't need to do all that, we just throw them in the oven. It makes it so easy, and it's something that I would encourage you to make this Thanksgiving. By the way, if this is your first time meeting me, my name is Sonny Harrell, and I've spent the last 15 years working in more than a dozen professional kitchens all around the world. And here on this channel, I'm bringing back all my skills, my tips, my tricks, my recipes, methods. I'm giving it all back to you. I want you to have it. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be happy. And part of that journey is to be cooking for yourself and for your families. So I'm gonna roast these babies. I'll see you back here in a bit. To make the garnish for our mash, we're gonna start by emptying our nuts into a cold pan. We're gonna kick it on over low heat, cooking this for about 6 or 7 minutes before we start to add a little bit of unsalted butter, touch of maple syrup, and some maldon salt. So I'll tell you guys, this garnish made the best contrast on top of that mash because you had the velvety, silky mash, and then you have this sweet, salty, light, crunchy nut on top to make an insanely perfect bite. I know you guys are gonna love this as much as I did. Now while your sweet potatoes are roasting away in the oven, we can prepare our cream and butter mixture simply by putting our cream and butter into a pot, bringing it up to a simmer, and then just setting it aside for later use. When your potatoes are done cooking, what I like to do is slice through them, but not all the way, turn them over, smash them down with my hands, and give them this little massage with my fingertips. After that, it's like really easy to peel the skin and peel the flesh away, leaving it on your baking tray. Okay, so in order to finish this beautiful sweet potato mash, we're gonna start by taking all of our scraped sweet potato meat, adding that into a RoboCoupe. And so by the way, you know, I had to reheat my butter and my cream. So if you like it really smooth like I do, you want everything to be hot. So the sweet potatoes are hot out of the oven, the butter and the cream has been reheated, so this is gonna make it blend really smooth to give it that velvety, silky finish on the palate. But by all means, if you like it chunky, just use a whisk or use a masher or something like that. God, it has been a long time since I've made a quenelle, but if you wanted to do that for some fancy plating, this works very well for it. Also, you can do that classic swoop down the middle of the plate. It looks awesome. But of course, most of us are going to be serving this family style for Thanksgiving, so I just put it in a bowl, put some of those beautiful candied maple nuts on top, and boom, we've got ourselves a dish to remember. All right, oh my God. Tell you what, that gives the best mash a run for its money. So, you know, I wrote mash right in the title, but this is really like a puree as well, the texture. So let's give it a taste. Really excited about these nuts on top. Mmm! The contrast of the velvety sweet potatoes, like silky, coats your tongue and palate, with this sweet and salty, crunchy, light, crispy pecan nuts on top. Match made in heaven, guys. Match made in heaven. You know, this is also something you could put into a piping bag with a little star nozzle and make some really cool decorations on a plate. Guys. You know, It's delicious on its own, but those little candied nuts really set it off. Just those opposite textures coming together is just phenomenal. By the way, follow me on Instagram, same name, Cooking with Sunny, and if you're making some of these recipes and you make a post on Instagram, tag me in that post and I'd love to share it in my stories. Well, that is it for today, my friend. I hope you got some value out of this content right here, and if you liked it, do not forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.